Since this was formed in '93, it's been phenomenal, the growth that this foundation has had over those years. People need to realize that they are giving money when they make out a check or present money at the foundation. You are actually giving money through the foundation, not to the foundation, because then the foundation looks at needs around the community. We take a look at grant requests and scholarship requests, and then that money is given back out into the community.
Habitat began here as a Fulton County Leadership Academy project in 1996, just as a survey to see if Habitat would work here, if we had enough need, and the answer came back yes. Then they were incorporated in 1998. Our first house was built in 1999. Mission of Habitat is to provide affordable, decent housing for those that cannot qualify through a normal bank proceeding to get a loan. We try to pick a family before we finish a home, because they each have to have 75 volunteer hours before we dig. Families have to be between the 30th and 80th percentile of the average median income in Fulton County. We have built two on the far ends of Fulton County, one in Akron, one in Fulton, and the rest have been in and around Rochester area. I believe all of our houses are pretty unique. We build them for the person. We don't build the house, then put a family in it. We try to personalize each and every house as best we can.
Now you look around the county, we are a county-wide foundation, and we have provided funds for the parks in Grass Creek. We provided funds for the help with the parks in Kewanna, Akron, and we've provided funds for Lighters Ford for community buildings, in Akron for community buildings, Fulton for community buildings. So you'll find our money scattered throughout the community to meet needs of that community as brought to us. Well, I think if you look at what we have granted out, it's a little over $80,000 so far in the community support grants. And I think that there's, one that I drive by often is the Grass Creek Park, where the old school used to be. That's used a great deal by the community. In fact, it's the only park. And every time I've driven by, I have seen kids in the playground, or there'll be some activity on the pavilion. So that's been an important one to me as being part of that community, and having graduated from the Grass Creek Academy, it is important that we support those kinds of functions. One of the ones that also have been impactful have been the grant to the Hardery, which is a new community activity center in Kewanna. And this provided the ability for handicapped people to enter by putting a ramp in. And this was important for our community. And I think that that was one that often hit hard for me. The one that also that I appreciate is the grant to the Fulton County Council on Aging. I see those buses around various places picking up people to taking them to grocery stores or to the doctors or whatever may be needed. And that's a great service for the seniors in our community. And oftentimes if you're in a small community like Kewanna or any other small community and you don't drive, you are really isolated. But this provides transportation that would not ever be there. So I think those are the kinds of things I like to see money granted to, where it serves a large population in the community.
The original part of this park was donated to the park board by the Mary Lancaster family in 2009. And a few years after that, we leased part of it to Indiana DNR to put in a public access site. And then we were able to buy this property in 2013 with donated funds, and basically to get this pavilion and additional parking for the access site. It was in pretty bad shape, that there was a cabin here where this pavilion was, that we had most of it tore down and remodeled into this pavilion. When we first got this park, Alan and Mary Chesser, Mary is also on the park board, were taking care of it, doing the mowing and everything. And since then, 4 local people that live in Lighters Ford have pretty much taken over the maintenance here. Until now, the biggest use of it was just as an access site for the river, for parking. There have been some people that use the picnic table, but now with the new pavilion, which was completed with funds from the Community Foundation, we're hoping a lot more people will use it for picnics and things like that. Without the help of the Community Foundation, we probably would be a long ways down the road in getting this pavilion built.
Well, the Centennial Towers building was at the corner of 9th and Main Street for many years and was the tallest building in our downtown. It caught fire on December the 9th, 2011, and totally burned, and nothing was salvageable, and ended up being a demolition of what was left, which then left us with a great big hole down there. And there had been $30,000 committed from the Redevelopment Commission back in 2015, before the project really got rolling. That was the first basically donation. Then after that, $167,000 was collected from private donations. We got a $30,000 transfusion, if you will, for that project from the Community Foundation, which we are very, very grateful for. So all in all, it's what you would call a real community project. And now, instead of a hole and a blue tarp for the gateway to our community, we have a beautiful park.
We first met in 2010 and formed this organization, and it's the idea is just for women that have charitable hearts and want to help out their community and give back to the community. We pool our resources so that we can make more of an impact. You have to start small and just try something. And we tried that Women's Giving Circle. We had no idea if it was going to go, but it has lasted since 2010, and we've seen that endowment fund grow immensely, and we've also awarded out almost $40,000 in grants over the past few years. So I'm very proud of that.
If you ever get discouraged and think everything is going off track, just serve on one of the scholarship committees, and you will come out very positive about the young people and what they will contribute into the future. But that's one of the things of the Community Foundation, providing opportunities for our young students and also meeting the financial needs of many of the projects and activities in the community. So the foundation is here to provide the foundation for the future.